Hi guys, this is Rachita. In this video, I'm going to speak more about how I worked on my Hawkgirl costume and the wings, so please look forward to it. Okay, so first things first, you should always have a notebook and a pen in front of you where you keep on jotting down notes, where you keep on writing whatever you have on your mind. So here, as you can see, I have a list of what exactly is going to be needed for this project, along with a small glimpse of a very rough diagram on my height versus my prop ratio. So please you refer it, and if possible you could kind of extend it as per what you believe would work the best for your body. So the next step after every diagram is to create a live prototype, and here in front of you, that is what I worked towards. I have created these with the aluminium flat rods, a measurement of which I had mentioned in the diagram earlier. After completing the wireframe, it was time for me to try it on and to check if it actually works or not. Just a word of caution, the edges of the aluminium flat rods is going to be very rough and harsh. I had scratches all over my body. I would really like you to put probably a double-sided tape around the edges, so that you don't really hurt yourself. After checking if the wireframe and the structure actually worked, it was time for me to pad it and to wrap it with something soft so that I could constantly lift it and try it on. So what I've actually used is a gym mattress. I really wanted to work with it, wanted to see how it actually helps me build my prop, and the results were surprisingly really good. A disadvantage to foam is that it is so difficult to stick. I did not have anything that I felt worked really well in sticking it, molding it together, so I ended up wrapping it with a tape at the end of it just to secure my wireframe further. Yata! My first look was done. But alas, as it is with every project, you fail a lot, and I learned a lot of lessons the hard way, wasted so much money, wasted so much time, effort. There was a point where I really wanted to give up on this entire project, thinking it was too much for me to handle. The biggest problem that I was facing was every material that I tried using was turning out to be really heavy for my wireframe to handle, and therefore I could not really work with it, and they were unsuccessful. But wait a second, have you ever heard about any superheroes giving up? I re-looked at my entire technique and realized that maybe I was thinking too complex. Maybe I needed to simplify my method of thinking, and that's what I did, and slowly everything started taking shape. The biggest lesson that I learned from all of this is that sometimes the simplest of solutions work the best. Here I was trying to go all fancy, a little complicated, a little complex, and they didn't really work out. So I went back to the basics and things started working out. So the moment I realized that using ivory chart paper or simple thin papers were my best solution and best bet at this point, I decided to keep on adding layers of papers to my wings to create the illusion of depth and feather. And that's what I did. The moment I was done with creating the layers, I started shading it. I started coloring it with acrylics and poster colors. And thus, after almost a week of hard work, failed attempts, trial and errors, something that worked, something that didn't, I could finally finish my wings. After finishing work on the wings, it was time for me to focus on the rest of the Hawkgirl costume, starting from her mask to her mesh to her corset, etc. As you can see, I have used foam for all of the remaining costumes too. Paper mache and acrylic colors is what I used for the remaining props, because that is something I am really comfortable using. But Vergla is something that really works well for all of these things too. Apart from paper mache, I worked with foam and my old undergarment to create the corset so that I get the exact finishing, the exact fitting. And thus my costume was ready. I was done with creating the corset, the mask, the mesh, the boots, etc, etc, and as you can see, I was almost done, prepared to attend the Comic-Con that I had worked for. And I was ready for Comic-Con. Transporting the wings were one of the toughest things that I had to do, but thankfully I had really good support from my friends. I had a car that I drove. I had some friends who were holding on to the wings. The windows were down, so blah, you know. Plus, I reached the venue safe with minimal damage to my wings, nothing that could not be taken care of on the spot during the day of the Comic-Con. My fellow cosplayer friends actually assisted me to climb on and off the stage due to the heavy wings, and I was really grateful at that point. And at the end of it, I realized that I had won the comic category during the cosplay judging, and I was so grateful. So thank you everybody for watching this video. I really hope it benefits you in some way. I spoke about the disadvantages, the advantages that I went through, and I really hope you make the best out of it and create awesome wings in the future.